Hey guys, it's Fida and today I've come up with a really delicious mocha pastry cake recipe. It's simple to make and it's also really delicious. It's just a normal chocolate cake but we add a lot of coffee in it, and what the coffee will do is it will intensify the chocolate taste and it's going to be really delicious. And it's also really moist as we're adding buttermilk and sour cream also. It's really simple to make, so without any further ado, let's get on to making it. First, we have to mix up our dry ingredients. For that, here I have all the ingredients: salt, all-purpose flour, sugar, baking soda and baking powder. Also, I have some cocoa powder. First, into a bowl, I'm going to add in the all-purpose flour, along with it, I'm going to add in the sugar, the cocoa powder, and all these ingredients are pre-sifted, so always make sure you sift it if yours is not. Then I have half a tablespoon of baking soda, three-fourths teaspoon of baking powder, and also half teaspoon of salt. I'm going to set all these dry ingredients aside. I'm going to whisk, and I'm going to whisk it until well combined. So that's well combined, I'm going to set it aside. But before that, we have to line our pan so that when the batter is ready, we can pour it right away. For that, here I have a sheet of parchment paper and my baking pan. This is a square baking pan. It's of around 8-inch. So I'm going to measure it out. I have a parchment paper that is cut, and I'm just going to fold it around the sides. And I'll cut it using a scissors. So here the parchment paper is ready and it fits perfectly in our pan. Just brush it. Brush it really well or else the cake will stick to the sides. Now keep the parchment paper on top and brush the excess oil on top of the parchment paper. And there our pan is totally lined. Let's set this aside and continue with making the cake. Next, we're going to mix all our wet ingredients together. For that, here I have yogurt, buttermilk, vanilla extract, some coffee, oil and water. I also have 2 eggs. And into this bowl, we're going to mix all these ingredients together. First, I'm going to pour in the yogurt, then the buttermilk, then I'm going to crack in the eggs. These are 2 small eggs. Next, I'm going to pour in the vanilla extract, around half a teaspoon. Then I'm going to pour in the oil. I'm going to pour around 1/4 cup plus 2 tablespoons of oil. Let's just whisk that. Whisk it until it's well combined. Then into it I'm going to pour in hot water. I have around 1/4 cup plus half cup of water. This is lukewarm water which I'm using in this. Then I'm going to add in around 3 tablespoons of coffee. Then I'm going to whisk this until well combined and our wet ingredients will be ready. So here our wet ingredients are ready. Now all we have to do is pour it over the dry ingredients and mix it until it's well combined. I'm going to pour in little at first. I'll pour the rest of it later. Mix that. Combine it all really well. And then add the rest of it. So I've poured all of the wet ingredients into the dry ingredients. Now all we have to do is mix it one last time and the batter will be ready. So here my batter is totally ready and it's ready for baking. So I'm going to pour it into my baking pan. I'm going to fill it around halfway full or else it is going to just overflow off the pan when it is baking. I'm going to tap it and keep it in a preheated oven for baking. Tapping will release all the air bubbles, so now I'm going to keep it in a preheated oven for baking. Now my cake is completely baked. You can insert a skewer and see whether it is clean, and if the skewer is clean, you know the cake is baked. Once the cake is baked, keep it aside for cooling completely and then only take it out of the pan. If you take it while it is hot, then the cake will just break apart as it is too soft while it is hot. Just run a knife through the sides, flip it over and it will come very easily. Then all you have to do is remove the parchment paper on the bottom and you can see how moist the cake is. It's really super soft and moist. Now I'm going to flip it back over and cut it into 2 layers. So just use a knife and keep an eye on it. Then cut it right through the middle. Make sure you have 2 equal halves. So I've cut it through the middle and here I have 2 equal halves. Now we're going to take these cakes and start frosting it. For that, here I have my turntable and I'm going to keep a small dollop of coffee whipped cream on the bottom, and this coffee whipped cream is just half cup of whipped cream with around 1.5 teaspoons of coffee powder and 3 tablespoons of sugar. Just beat that up until it's nice and whipped and you'll have your coffee whipped cream ready. You can also use coffee buttercream or any other frosting you like. It doesn't necessarily have to be coffee because there is a lot of coffee flavor in the cake. I'm going to keep my cake board and on top of it I'm going to keep my cake. I'm going to sugar syrup the cake. Sugar syrup is just 1 part of water mixed with 1 part of sugar. All you have to do is just wipe the sugar syrup onto your cake so it will keep the cake moist. And then on top of it I'm going to pipe some coffee whipped cream. After piping a good amount, I'll spread it and even it out. You want the frosting to go all around the sides, and the top of the cake should be fully covered with frosting. After that, on top of it, I'm going to keep my second layer of cake, line it, and then I'll frost the top of this cake. Before that, you need to wipe all the excess frosting off from the sides and then put the frosting on top and pipe it. I did not make enough frosting. I took only half cup of frosting, so maybe you'll have to take more of the frosting if you're frosting the full cake. I didn't have frosting, so I had to adjust it, especially I had exams, so I didn't want to make frosting another batch and then spread it all over the cake again, so I just adjusted with the frosting I had, and that is the reason why the top looks so bad. I'm gonna cut this cake. You can also have this cake without frosting. It's super delicious. It'll have that really nice coffee taste. I'm just gonna cut it and serve it. So you can see how soft and moist this pastry is. It has a nice layer of coffee whipped cream in the middle, and then the cake is super soft and moist. It's super delicious with a nice coffee taste. Hope everybody will try it. It's really delicious. So that's it for this video. Hope everybody liked it, and if you did, please don't forget to give me a big thumbs up down below. Also subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. Thanks once again, and bye-bye.